Here I am in the list of contacts or leads, and then to start the example, I created a new lead from an email. The person Daniel Fernandez sent us an email, in this case from this email, and it was created as a new lead automatically. When I enter, I can see all the information on the net. In fact, here I can see the first email he sent us. So where we asked for information on prices, and I replied with a template that I had. We can always answer you directly from here, and all of this is going to be associated, right? Directly to the one we are working with. Then I made a comment where I tagged someone else in my organization. This received a notification to Jose Avila where I am communicating what happened with him. And I can continue the conversation with both the lead, like the other people in my organization, and it's all going to be related here. I can put files together. I can see if someone else also tagged me, right? So, as we go through the process, I know exactly what happened with this. Conversations. Also, if I make a phone call, everything I have recorded here or comments I make with the people who work with me in the organization. I also have all the information about the lead. I have the details, which gives me all the information in this case about the lead and that I'm working on. I have the events, tasks, documents that are associated, and here is the right, the organization that it's related to. From this organization, I can see that it has not only Daniel Fernandez as a contact, but also a person named Andrea Garcia. So these are the two associated contacts, and I see that you already have a deal created for this organization. Maybe here I can send email, leave comments, make calls directly to the organization, and everything is related here. To gather documents, I also have the option of gathering quotes, invoices, purchase and sales orders, right? And support cases where necessary. So, here I can get into the deal and see all the information of this deal, which in this case belongs to the sale of medical centers. However, I am going to do it in another way. I'm going to go straight into all the deals where I can see it in this shape. And I have different pipelines. In this case, I'm in the standard pipeline. Each one has a different process. In this case, it goes again, proposal, negotiation, and so on. But you can create your own pipeline that is necessary. Here I already see all the information of the deal, or at least the one I need to see directly without having to enter. The amount, when is the closing date of this deal, to which organization it belongs. All of this is click-liable. If I click on it, it's going to take me to the information of this deal, as we were before. So here on the right, I have the information from both the OneView and the AI. So directly from here, I can also tell you a summary of what has happened in this edit. Brian is then going to give me a summary of all the information, both what I have here in the comments, emails, all the communications that I have had, and any of the other fields that I have here that are pending, right? What are the objections? All this information is given to me by the EM, and from here it allows me to execute certain actions. Like for example, I can schedule a call or I can make an email. We're going to give you, for example, an email, and at once it's going to help me directly, right? Create this email. In this case, they do it in English, but they can only adjust to the language they need, and send the email directly from here. Okay? Since I have several contacts associated with the organization, I can send it directly from here. And like I said, every time I send an email, all of this is associated here within the deal, or the organization, or the contact. And I'm always going to have all that information on the hour, right? In the end, when you need to do an analysis of what was happening in the deal, all of this is related. They can always use the idea to improve the information you're giving them. If you want to make it a little simpler, for example, you can click here, and then it gives you another way to send it. They can also then, apart from that, see all the deals that they have in the pipeline directly from here, and this is interactive. I can tap on it, and I can say, well, I'm going to change it to a certain state from here. So, well, I change it from new to deliver, right? And of course, all of these states are completely configurable, right? And every time I go through it, this can send notifications, but also, there are tasks that are created, either automatically, or we can add a new task here directly every time we go from one state to another. In fact, if I, for example, were to take the deal and win it, that will also send me a notification. Or if I miss it, then you're going to ask me why it was lost, right? So, hey, what are the reasons? Here I leave it, and then I can pull reports based on that. And I also send a notification depending, for example, on the amount. Maybe deals over $1,000, then they should send a notification before they can close it as lost. When associated as cattle, then also. And then, at the end, you can pull reports based on that.